Let's bring in the Daily Caller's Vince Coglianese. Vince, this is an outrage. That Boston Marathon terrorist killed 3 people, including a child. The states have already settled this. Pay your debt, serve time. Many saying get through parole, too, and then vote. Why do grandstanding politicians step in here? Bernie Sanders wants a federal government to override the states. This is an outrage to the victims' families.
Totally. And this is like what you would say if you wanted to guaranteed lose an election. These are people who are saying things that they're like trying to self-immolate on purpose. Bernie Sanders advocating for prisoners who are currently in prison to vote. That means Dylan Roof gets a vote. That means Bernie Madoff gets a vote. This is nuts. And Bernie Sanders is advocating for it. I think that Bernie and some of the other Democrats took the wrong lesson from the 2016 election and Trump's win. Trump is a frank speaker. He speaks his mind. They think that they're supposed to do that. The problem here, the voters don't agree with the positions that they're taking. Nobody thinks that allowing violent criminals to vote is a good position. You know, even the socialist communist countries that Bernie Sanders favors and likes do not let their prisoners vote from prison. You know, but here's Senator Harris walking back her initial response. Let's watch.
Do I think that people who commit murder, people who are terrorists, should be deprived of their rights? Yeah, I do. I'm a prosecutor. I believe that in terms of there has to be serious consequence for the most extreme types of crimes.
Your reaction to that? I mean, this seems like another example of the Democrats not being able to say no to the radical far left.
What a generous shift in her position, that violent people shouldn't be able to vote. How about if you're in prison? These people are actually, if you're in prison, what's happened is you have forfeited your rights and privileges in society. You've been removed. In fact, we have prisons in the United States that have larger populations than the towns that they're in. Is she advocating that the prison then run the city by virtue of its vote? This is nuts. And Democrats actually are increasingly trying to out-crazy each other in order to occupy some space in a contested field. Now with 20 candidates jumping in this week, this is an exercise in destroying themselves.
It's simply put, what about the Boston Marathon bomber murdering people and robbing them of their right to vote and robbing the families of their peace of mind? I mean, this is victimizing the families all over again. It's an outrage that what Bernie is putting these families through again and other families across the country. He's doubling down. Watch this. Massachusetts Democrats are hammering Bernie Sanders. Representative Stephen Lynch said this: "I don't believe that individuals incarcerated for serious crimes should be allowed to vote, period." And the mayor of Boston, Martin Walsh, said, "I think when somebody takes somebody's life, they lose the right to vote." It seems pretty simple, Vince.
It's not difficult. This is why this is one of the most insane debates I've ever seen us have in American politics, because who's going to take up the position that Dzhokhar Tsarnaev deserves representation? No one. Bernie Sanders, of all people, is coming out and saying this guy deserves a vote, and the basis by which he says that is one of the craziest things. He says we should not infringe on anyone's constitutional rights. Once we start going down that path, that's a dangerous thing. That's strange, because this is coming from a Democratic Party that wants to infringe constantly on the Second Amendment, increasingly is fascist about the types of things you can say within the confines of the First Amendment. All of a sudden now the Democratic Party is saying, you know what, we're strict constitutionalists. We want to make sure everyone gets their fair say.
Vince, thank you so much for coming in.